in our seated position. You're welcome to close eyes, but connect to breath. Align the crown, the top, the central top of your head over where you feel, where you perceive your tailbone. Creating this very exacting, vertical kind of alignment of bones, and perceiving a central axis from those givens. And part of that perceptual mechanism is our breath. And just a reminder, this a somatic or an embodied practice seeks to not exclusively educate us on our physical body, the skin envelope and all of its contents, but a somatic practice or an embodiment practice actually seeks to enlarge our sense of self and in so doing, we may encounter more ambiguity, more complexity, more layers. And we need the breath to access that ambiguity, those subtleties, that nuance, those layers, those depths, the invisibilia of our person and our experience. We really need all of that. So our breath is pivotal. Feel the base of the skull, the bottom jaw, the base of the skull, lifting up, freeing up the front of the throat, freeing up the spine bones, the very top of spine. And these next several breaths, feel as if you are breathing into and filling up, almost like a balloon, like you're saturating all of your cells right out to your skin with breath. So what I'm about to offer may sound like a contradiction in that, yes, this kind of practice ultimately will enlarge our sense of self, that we are more than just our body and what's inside of our skin, but our methods to move in that way will remain primarily around, in, and inside our skin. So by remaining intimately linked to our body as we perceive our physical body inside of our skin, we will enlarge our sense of what it is that we're made of. Alternate nostril breathing. Let's go with the left hand. Thumb close left nostril. Allow this left arm, elbow, shoulder to hang down. Inhale into the right nostril. 6 counts. Use ring finger, close right nostril, and here we'll hold 18. Open up left nostril, exhale 12. So inhale 6 through the left. Hold 18. Softening internally, especially underneath the brain, near the spinal cord. 12 out the right. So we're working in a 1 to 3 to 2 ratio. Let's continue a little bit longer. The next time you exhale out the right nostril, we'll pause. All right. Great. So I've got my right leg extended straight out in front. And I've got my left leg bent. Heel in front of groin, or if you prefer, heel behind hip. Your pleasure. 2 moves, starting with side bend. Plant the right hand, inhale. Pick that left arm up, reaching it away from the left sit bone. Exhaling, pull with the right, reach with the left. So as I'm pulling with my right hand on the ground, I'm pulling my right shoulder blade toward my low back. As I reach with the left, that whole left half of back spreads. Again, feel as if your breathing, your breath, each and every breath permeates and saturates every cell within the parameters of our skin envelope. Part of enlarging our sense of self is also ensuring and really healing or building at times a sense of individuated selfness, self-containment. Those are just really healthy to have a somatic, a felt sense of, this is my container. This is an outline. Forward fold. Inhaling, we'll bring that left hand down to the ground. I like to move my hands either side of right leg. Keep reaching through ball of right foot, engaging or feeling that inner right leg as we fold. Allow the back of the neck to soften. And then a little bit more. And then a little bit more. Inhale, walk the hands back toward the hips, uprighting your trunk. And we'll work those two moves on the other side. So we'll straighten the left leg. Bending the right. Your choice if you have the heel by the hip or the heel by the groin. Left hand to ground. Inhale. We'll take that right arm up, over. So the halves of my back are working quite differently. My left hand, as it pulls, that whole left side of my rib cage engages. So my shoulder blade becomes connected by way of work and muscle to my low back. My right arm, as it reaches a whole right half of rib cage, the back wraps, it spreads. There may be a slight stretch or even a tautness. And then expand breath so you're feeling that interior of your skin. You're spreading your breath, your awareness throughout your whole body. So often when we work together, we'll often select one discrete area in the body. Well, today is a little different. Our attempt is to keep expanding and sensing throughout our whole skin, our bones, our tissues, right to the skin, into the head and the brain, the organs. Okay, forward fold. Inhale, bring that right hand down. Hands on either side of left leg. Exhaling, soften through the back of neck. There's a fairly strong linkage through the back of the body, right up into the eyebrow, past the hairline into the eyebrow. If as you're folding, you notice you're rumpling your brow, that can be a subtle way that we dampen any stretch sensation or tension. Let the brow relax, the eyes relax, the hairline, the scalp, and just find out if the head, the back of the neck, can soften. Almost like you're letting your brain drip away from your spine. And once this area starts to soften, you may be privy to the feeling of your brain breathes. There's breath that reaches your brain. There's motions around and in the brain. Inhale, walk the hands back toward the pelvis, upright. And let's straighten out these legs lying back. And we'll be working a little bit of straddle, a little bit of elbow to knee. So once you're lying, we'll pick the feet off the ground. Now, if you have any back issues or concerns or achiness, just remember, I always just want to make sure that we're being taken care of. Right? You can use your feet on the wall, and that can supply the back with a lot more support. Okay? With the hands interlaced behind the head, inhale, head and shoulders off the ground. Find the tip of the tailbone, either by shifting it up or just by sensing it right between the sit bones. Exhale, reach the left leg out. Reach it out all the way, pressing through the inner two foot bones. Pull low belly down. Inhale, bend the left knee. Curl tailbone, exhaling. Reach out through the right leg. Now as we empty and as we're pulling the belly down, in theory, we're pulling on the entire spinal cord all the way up into the brain. Inhale, bend the right knee. Rather than take that as fact, curl tailbone, exhale, the left leg reach out. I invite you to feel how that low belly has any form of connection, fluid connection, pressure connection to the back of the brain, the neck, the head. Inhale, bend that left knee. Curl tailbone, exhale, right leg out, reach. And as you draw the low belly down, just feel if there's anything that you can sense in the hands. Inhale, bend the right knee. Let's do just 3 more on each side. We'll complete those at our own pace. Getting the breath moving in the sense of emptying fully. Just a great thing for the sacrum, the organs that sit in front of the sacrum, the colon, the large intestine, the intestines, bladder, going a little further in, the kidneys. Even start to get a sense of organ and muscle. Just appreciating just those layered, those sense differences. So as I pull the belly down, am I pulling muscle or am I probing and moving organs? And start to feel those shades of difference. They do have a different feel. Good. All right. And straddle. When we bring the legs up, we'll separate them widely. Now, if in order to keep your sacrum, your back on the ground, you need to bend the knees, then bend them. And that's how it is. Inhale, float the head and the shoulder blades off the ground. Exhaling. Using the low belly muscles to exhale. Reach out through the legs, spreading the foot bones. And as you draw the belly down, can you feel? Does a spinal cord move? Does it feel stuck? Inhale, relaxing the tailbone down, keeping the head, the shoulder blades elevated just a little bit. Exhale. Kind of a tail area, pelvic area move. Low belly draws in, tailbone shifts, legs outreach, and then again, pull low belly down. Inhale. As you exhale, as you're curling the tailbone, it's practice. We're practicing feeling the whole body. Feel the thigh bones moving away from the pelvis. Feel inside the kneecaps. Feel the shin bones. Into the ankle space, into the foot bone space. Pull low belly down. How inhaling into the whole entire belly, the back, the sacrum, down to the pelvic floor, the hip sockets. As fully as you can possibly feel. Exhale, curl tailbone, reach. Reach from the pelvis, through the hip sockets, through the legs, through the space of the calf, the ankle, the foot space. Pull low belly down. The final three on our own. With this practice today, just practice enlarging your sense of breath in body. The assumption that we're going on to do this practice is that we may have inadvertently, unconsciously, however, shrunken our bodily perception. So you may be really accustomed to going into the body, but do you go into the whole body? Or do we go in and inhabit a fraction of our body? And when you do help the legs together and set the feet down, stay with that enlarged breath. Stay with that enlarged perception of your belly, your back, your pelvis. Keep that, there's a word for it, where we interocept the sense of our insides. Keep it larger than usual. There we go. That's it. Great. Let's turn onto a side and we'll set up for dolphin. And we'll be working our dolphin leg up. So let's do that. Elbows under shoulders. Forearms out in front. It's reducing the impact of neck contractions, reducing that impact that can physically and literally diminish nerve conductance. So we relax the neck to reduce impedance. Inhale into the entire width of your ribs. Perceive the full width of shoulders, of ribs, skin to skin. Breath. Exhale. Toes turn under. Press knees up. Taking the left foot, use the toes. We'll anchor the right heel nearer to ground, stepping down, allowing the back of the neck to soften, that the head can hang more freely. And then inhale, smoothly raise left foot. That breath keeps stretching internally. It's kind of an internal deepening and spreading and expansion. It's not an expansion out, but an expansion in. Let's set that left foot down, and to switch sides, our right foot toes will anchor around the left heel cord. And settling weight gently into that left Achilles. Feeling those ankle joints, those foot bones, foot joints moving, gliding. Yes, and letting that each deep breath exactly expand as if bone away from bone, like we're filling a balloon, saturating the organs. So we keep taking this in and in and in, and let's reach the right foot away from ground. We start to feel that cellular level respiration. Our cells truly breathe, and we can feel and get a sense of breath moving in and through the cell. We can feel that breath cycle in our cells. Not quite always the same as our nostril air breath. But we can feel that prana, that filling up of life. And smoothly set that right foot down. We'll set the knees down. Soft release. We'll use the wall for downward dog on the wall. So We'll get ourselves next to a section. Now, if you would like to do handstand, you're welcome to. I'm just going to talk through downward dog on the wall for now. We're wrapping shoulders. Feel those bottom tips of blades spreading away from each other. And when we press into downward dog, it's really nice. Two things. Heels skim wall. Back of neck softens. Inhaling, step 1 foot hip height. Exhale, follow up with the other. Soften through the neck. And connect to that extraordinarily deep breath. So that breath that spreads inwardly may have just gotten significantly more challenging to do. But we're building that robust connection to breath. And let's go for about 4 deep breaths more. So an unhurried but very full breath. And Connie, I don't know if you will need to set up, hands closer to wall, or if you just need to move the chest slightly toward the wall, using your hands, your arms, your shoulders, getting those upper ribs, those chest ribs, lifting, moving toward the sky. Yeah, I think that's a little nicer on your low back. There you go. Mm-hmm. Good. And whatever foot part okay, gotcha. I know. It is one of those. That's why we go there. There you go. Softening neck. With whatever foot contact you do have on the wall, use it. Help lift your butt away from your hands. After those final 4 or so breaths, we'll just simply step down, help our way down. And we'll take a wide stance on our mat. A wide, straight-legged, neutral stance. Interlace hands behind back. Doing a little chest opener. Inhale. Feel chest bones lifting away from hip bones. Exhaling, fold. Now, as I soften muscularly, as I soften various tensions and activities in the body, that creates more leeway for the breath. Breath can spread in, right? As I'm tracking my breath, I'm really following how much I'm in my body, how deeply my consciousness is embedded in the fabric of my being. So while we're working with the fabric, this textile of self, the woven strings and tubes and electricity and bones and minerals and platelets and more tubes, so I'm working with all of that fabric. I'm also tuning in how every bit of that fabric is imbued with something that is vital. Not the fabric, but it is thoroughly infused with, enlivens the fabric of my being. So I'm getting to know that not substance, that non-substantive but very real quality of aliveness. And when we inhale, the hands back to the sacrum, set the hands on the floor. Turn your left foot 90 degrees to the left as we set up for head to ankle prep. So now my stance opens up into a warrior two. Left knee bent, left foot pointing left, left hand on left thigh. The right hand can stay on the ground. Feet active. Soften through the back of the neck. Inhale, bearing breath down to the pelvis. Exhaling. What can I soften? What allows this energy to pulse through the fabric of my being? So when I feel that sense of aliveness, right? That's part of our expanding our sense of self, right? Oh, I'm this aliveness. I'm this pulsing, aware, animating force. This is me? Yes, this is me also. And when we release, setting hands down, we're setting the right knee down, lunge. If you like padding, place some padding down. Inhale, draw the arms up. Exhaling, press down through the feet, the legs lift, low back away from heel. When you stretch your arms up and overhead, I recommend it. When you stretch your arms up, lifting the chest, deepen breath. There's a tendency to make small our breath, to let the breath live kind of comfortably in a compartmentalized way somewhere in the body. Deepen breath. It takes a little bit of kind of a gentle persistence to keep that enlarged sense of, oh, this is my body, and 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 this is my body. Right? Enlarged. And the way we can kind of promote that enlargement, that augmentation, is breathing deeply. Again, there's a premise here. We're starting with the assumption that we tend to move in and discover our bodies as not that big. Okay? All right, curl the back toes under. On your next exhale, strong glute engagement. You got to get that tailbone shifting, the butt muscles on. Press the knee up, lunge. every air sac in your lungs respiring. To get to those top lobes of the lungs, start to lift the chest, lifting the upper back away from the mid-back. Feel, does breath reach beyond the upper back? Can you feel it in the upper back, upper spine, base of neck? You feel your breath there. Can reach those arms all the way up, Connie. I think it'd be really swell. Just feel if breath gets to the tops of those shoulder blades. Those top ribs can be really challenging to work through, to feel through, to feel into. There you go. That's it. That's it. That's it. All right, inhale. Gently set that right knee back down. Hopefully it's cushioned. If not, get some cushion. Heel to butt lunge. Right hand, grab right heel. Now, with many of these moves, there can be a slight funneling of our attention. So just re-expand. It's not a force move so much, it's a, oh, you know, I just noticed I got like funnel feeling. It's like tunnel vision, but for sensing. I got funnel feeling. And just noticing that, oh, if I notice, I have a choice. Do I want to proceed down funnel feeling, this very limited way of sensing, or would I be willing to experiment feeling an enlarged breath, a slightly enlarged, expanded sense of there's more body here. There's more person here. There's more shoulder, there's more abdomen, there's more sensation, there's more feeling, there's more energy here. There you go, there you go. We're just reminding ourselves we have choice. All right, let's set that right foot down. Pyramid. Inhale, set the hands down, ground or block, as we press the back knee off the ground, and I shorten the stance, about a 3-foot long pyramid stance. And again, this is, there's so many occurrences in these simple bodily movements like folding. So many occurrences where we may be apt to diminish our sensing. As if, nothing too much going on here. I'll just turn down some of the feeling and the sensing. But I want to just keep encouraging us, keeping that pilot light lit, deepening breath. We're just playing for a finite period of time with this augmented sense of perception, bodily, felt sense. Okay, what would that feel like if I filled the sides of my ribs with breath? As I felt my legs charged, my feet active, neck relaxed. I'm going to move the hands or the blocks forward. Vertical splits. The hands or the blocks are moved move forward about 6 or 10 inches. Inhale, pick right foot up. Softening through back of neck. Exhaling, press through the ball of the left foot. Use that inner leg. Reach through that inner right thigh. And one of the great reasons, if convincing is needed, one of the great reasons to remain connected to breath is it keeps us connected to those parts of our body and our brain that let us choose. So when I stay connected to a conscious, a deep breath, I'm more apt to remain in choice. I let my breath go into funnel. If I go funnel feeling and funnel breath, I tend to move into I don't have choice. Uh-oh. And that's a much less resourceful way of moving and responding. So stay connected to this enlarged, augmented breath as a proxy for staying connected to choice. Inhale, set the right foot down to the ground. The right knee to the ground. We set up pigeon. And we'll walk the left leg down to the ground. Pressing out somewhat through that left heel. Kind of active, yeah, exactly. You actively move that left heel bone outward. It'll just help turn on a lot of these shin muscles. All right, inhaling. Heel under pelvis, hands under shoulders, exhaling downward dog. Do a short little leg series on the other side. Inhale your right foot forward. Warrior two stance. As we start off with head to ankle prep. So I go right hand to right thigh, left hand to ground. Letting the eyes relax, the jaw relax, back of the neck especially. As a general rule of thumb, and I can't offer this as a hard fact, but as a general rule of thumb, any learning or relearning that we're doing in our body is facilitated by relaxing underneath the back of the brain. It's letting those structures be more free will help the bodily learning. Anytime, and I've come to understand that anytime we're working with feeling like emotion, we're working with the nervous system, the brain, and the endocrine system. We're working with our chemicals, we're working with that chemical interface in the brain, we're working with parts of our brain's spinal cord. So for me, emotional intelligence and emotional health is brain health. It's endocrine health. Again, these are broad strokes. These are just my general rules. I've just kind of helped me convince myself to just keep with it. When we release, we're setting up lunge. I'm getting padding ready for the left knee. Inhale, draw the arms up. Now press it down through those feet and those legs. Lift through the low back. And just find out if you can slightly enlarge breath. Getting right under this point, right here in the sternum, right here. When you reach the arms up, it's not just to put the arms up. The arms, as they reach up, can help stretch and lift and move the bones, stretching and moving all of this nerve and vessel. There's all these materials supplying nerve vessels all through the neck and the shoulder. And then getting those rib bones moving gets those nerves around the neck and the upper back, starts to provide some motion and perhaps some room. So we're just creating little mechanical advantages by working. So go ahead and reach those arms all the way up, Connie. There you go. Now getting breath again into that upper back. Find out if those upper back bones lift. Feel if these upper chest bones spread, expand, lift, move to any degree. Curl the back toes under. Exhale the knee off the floor, lunge. Re-engage those arms, lift them up. Sometimes what I find around these choice moments, do I re-engage this larger sense of self? Do I keep expanding my feeling and my sensing in and through my body? As there can sometimes be a little bit of a righteousness, like a little bit of an entitlement around remaining small. I'm just putting it out there to say, just notice if there's any amount of like, I don't need to go there. No, like any of that kind of little entitlement around staying small. Those are interesting spots. And inhaling, we'll gently set that left knee down. Heel to butt lunge. Left hand grab left foot. Now keep using your feet. Press so we don't squish our low back. Right? Compression makes us architecturally small. It does, presses and compresses. And that subtler analog of pressing and compressing, right, kind of mimics or mirrors that egoic contraction. Right? I'm entitled to hang on to this view of me being exactly as it is right now. Right? I'm entitled to stay as small as I want to be right now. Don't bother me here. Right? So those contractions can be studied in lots of layers. Now we release. Pyramid. I'm using the blocks because we know this pyramid will eventually turn into vertical splits. But here's pyramid. Hands down, and I press that left knee up. You might want to keep the hands high up on the leg or high up on the blocks, depending on how that lunge read through your back. And just re-enlarge the breath. Just slightly augmenting this sense of breath, this sense of body. Because I genuinely am interested. Where is that pull to stay confined? Where is that pull to remain in a state of fixity? Where is that urge to disengage? That movement toward greater complexity and embrace. So just by the simple move of continually deepening my breath, I may feel that tug. I may feel it on a physical level. I may feel that in an egoic or psychological level. Here's vertical splits. Set the hands forward by about 8 or 10 inches. Inhaling with the neck utterly soft. We'll pick the left foot up. Exhaling, press through the inner right leg. Ensure that there's weight in that heel. Reach through that inner left leg. This is a great pose. This is a great pose to augment breath, augment feeling, augment that sense of saturated. I'm fully bodily saturated. And in so doing, any contradictory impulse. No, I want to stay small over here. How interesting. I augment because it's often easier to notice contrasting impulses. If I'm having a very agreeable and intelligent ego day, that structure goes, well, sure, we'll get bigger. Let's try it out. That would be fun. Inhale, set that left foot down, knee down. Pigeon. We'll walk the right foot over, lie the leg down. Connect to breath. It's really fun when we can feel the persona, the ego part of us going, yeah, I'll be a be a good sport. This will be fun to play in these, this different perception, this expanded moment. What would I feel if I played big or played flexible or played more inclusive? What would that feel like? Would it feel warmer, like compassion? Would it feel kinder? Would it feel like more love? Would I feel a quality of understanding or clarity? Would I sense more depth and nuance? Inhale, walk hands under shoulders, draw the heel under the groin. Exhaling, go smoothly, pressing back, downward dog. And we'll remain in downward dog for a few deep breaths. Just re-enlarge, re-expand. We're just playing. It's a finite amount of time. Just playing a little wider, playing a little bigger with the breath. Playing a little softer through the neck. And we're going to get ready for crow. If you're practicing jumping into crow, you may. I'm going to talk through a couple setups. Okay. You may like, just momentarily, as I go through these two options, getting your finger pads on the floor and just creating a light kind of cobweb of stretch through the palm of the hand and the wrist area. Most people seem to appreciate that little bit of hand gesture before we get into hand balancing. Okay? But here are the options for crow. One is just up and at 'em. It's shins on armpits. Tweeze the inner legs together, and up we go. The other option, which I really like, is setting out a block or two. I like two. Getting up on the perch, and then setting up from there. This allows me to get my feet as high as they would be for crow, and I don't have to necessarily take my feet off supports to get really the full benefit of crow. So if you need to protect or keep steady your shoulder, blocks are a good way to go. All right, crow. So we're either hopping into crow, setting up from the floor, or setting up from blocks. If I need to say one of those again, just wave at me. Create some visual noise, and I'll go through it again. When you get that little bit of balance, tweeze the insteps together. Use your inner legs, tweeze. Okay? Use the blocks. Use the blocks. Your feet, I just showed you. Feet. That way you get really steady and you just toe in. And you select exactly how much pressure goes into the hands. Okay? The hands must be shoulder width. It won't be narrower, cannot be narrower. And just continue. I'm going to talk them out. There you go. Push, push, push. You don't have to come off the blocks. Just stay right there. Tweeze. There you go. That's it. That's the move. That's what you want with the shoulders. There you go. Push a little bit more. Tweeze a little bit more. Feet. There you go. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it. Good. And then we'll settle down out of crow, stepping back, downward dog. Inhale, step your left foot forward, warrior two, unlocking the shoulder. Let's go left elbow in front of left shoulder. Inhale into upper back. Exhale, move the shoulder down. Shoulder blade moves down. And let's straight away go to the palm and the inner elbow press. Deep breath. Wide breath. Voluminous breath. Exhale, shoulder down, blade down, elbow press palm, palm press elbow. Reach forward a little bit. Feet active. Breathe into the whole rib cage. Exhale, shoulder down, elbow press palm, palm press elbow. Reach forward, press out through the legs. And release. Let that arm go. Reverse warrior. Inhale the arms out to the side. Exhale, right hand to right leg. Raise left arm. Lift, reach. Bend left knee. Bend left knee. There you go. So sometimes there can be a little bit of that. It's very subtle, but a little bit of that energy entitlement. No, I'm entitled to rest in this stance, right? Now, but if I bend my leg, I'll feel more of my body. Now, is it preservation or entitlement? I don't really know. It's one of those, we just have to be so honest with ourselves. So clear and so honest. Inhale the left arm up and over. Now when we set the hands down for pigeon, we'll set the right knee down. We're setting up for twisting pigeon toward the foot. So walk the foot over, lie the shin down. Hands grab foot, or if your hip is ready, you can go armpit to left foot. Okay. And inhale, unwind, hands under shoulders, Exhaling, downward dog. Okay. We're going to take this one side at a time. Turn signal. So inhale, step feet forward, and we'll take a crouch. And if you want to crouch and rest, I want to just talk us in. Turn signal. One side at a time will be our left leg to our arm and our right leg reaching forward. So you can come at this a couple of ways. Let me describe. From the ground, you can come at it by reaching the right leg forward. Some people have luck staggering their stance. You'll see my right foot is forward, my left foot is back, and they'll tuck right arm under. And some people just kind of rock their way in. That works for them. And if you're looking for the steadiest way to enter, the steadiest for your hands and your wrists, is use a block. Left foot on block, left shin to left arm, and reach. Yeah. So turn signal, it's our left leg will be bent as we work our right leg straight. You can go from the floor. You can go from a staggered stance on the floor, or you can go from a block. Left foot on block if you're using a block. Let me know if I can repeat something visually. There you go. Nice, Nancy. That's it. Yes, 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 yes. There you go. There it is. And again, I use my tweezers, my legs, my inner legs are my tweezers. I tweeze that right leg into my right arm. And I tweeze that left instep, left inner knee into my armpit. And we'll gently set that down. Whoops. Downward dog. Inhale the right foot forward. Warrior two stance, unlocking the shoulder. Right elbow in front of right shoulder. Inhale into upper back. Exhale, draw the shoulder down, draw the shoulder blade down, straight away, palm to elbow, press. Deepen, expand breath under that working shoulder. This is just a micro, breath and effort of what will be required of us on the ground, breath under shoulder effort. And so we can go big here. Deep Ujjayi breath, expand the ribs, even though the muscles are working. I have to get very selective. What keeps working? What can I relax? What can I release? Pull the shoulder down. Press elbow into palm, reach elbow forward. I can relax the neck. That's one place I can soften. The upper trapezius, I can soften up there. Deep breath. I recommend spreading the hand bones to provide relief from a moment ago. Open up the hand. Yeah. Both hands. Good. Let that go. Let the arms go. Inhale, arms out to the side. Deep inhale. Exhale, left hand to left leg. Raise the right arm. Lift, reach, reverse warrior. Okay, keep breathing deeply. I know the legs are working. I know we're getting into a warmer or maybe a little more tired part of our practice. I totally get it. But if there's any little catch around, I don't need to investigate, or it's due me a little bit of a rest right here. Just keep playing with the energy. Keep playing with the breath. There are times when rest is absolutely appropriate. But I find there can be an enormous amount of contraction about how we access and express energy that is, that's right there, right? I don't want to express that. I don't want to explore that. I find there can be a lot of structure built around that. Inhale, take that right arm up and over. Here's that pigeon. We set the left knee down, and we're walking the right leg to the ground. Okay, we're twisting toward the foot. Inhale, unwind, hands under shoulders. Exhaling, when we press back, we're readying for turn signal. So if you need to set up a block, this would be for the right foot. And let's move in. We've got the right foot on the block or right shin on the right arm. Hands to ground. Vibrant push. And I'm setting the left leg against the left arm, reaching forward. And there we go. There we go. All right. And then we'll step elegantly and gracefully out of there, downward dog. Gently set the knees down. Let's have a seat. Let's have a seat and straddle. So seated with legs widely apart. I'm going to keep the legs active for this, or the feet active, so the legs engaged. folding forward. Walk the hands or the forearms to the ground. And again, we connect to breath. And again, just as a play, breathe big. Fill the envelope of your skin. We're playing with the possibility of life force, the possibility of this creative, generative, life-affirming force being so much vaster than we'd ever could imagine. We're playing with that notion in our body. And yes, this may be in direct contradiction to what we believe is rightfully ours. Our perception, our contraction, our energy the way that we want it just so. I totally get it. Inhale, walk the hands back toward your pelvis, uprighting your torso. Let's use the hands, rather, to help the legs together. Whoops, where'd you go? There's the legs. Lie back for Shavasana. If you got kind of worn, and if that was a little bit of a kind of a stretchy move on the low back, you might like putting your legs up 90 degrees from your spine. You might like that feeling, letting the psoas relax and the spine bones be carried by the ground. And in these rest moments, without the application of a technique, without having to use a certain kind of breath, feel how effortless it truly is to sense more broadly and wholly throughout the body, requiring no effort to simply sense, to feel our breath filling, saturating every cell. relaxing the sound of the breath so we can fully permeate and inhabit the throat and the palate, the underside of the brain, allowing our structure to learn this as a possibility. This generative, open, vulnerable, life-affirming system is a possibility for moving through life. A body where every cell is animated is a possibility. With which to engage the world. When you're ready, bend knees. Turn to a side, pressing to seated. Namaste.